Welcome to tonight's presentation of the Pro Basketball Association. If you want pro, you want the PBA.
We greet you tonight from Williamsburg Christian Academy as we get ready for the brand new season of the Pro Basketball Association by 1891 as the winter season kicks off here tonight. Good evening, everybody. Greg Allen alongside as we get ready for a Mid-Atlantic divisional matchup, the Seven City Vets and the Triangle Shooters. That's the matchup we have for you this evening after the most recent campaign in the PBA wrapped up with the now two-time defending champs, the Fort Worth Firm. Starting lineups for tonight. First, for the Triangle Shooters. They'll be clad in the home whites with the orange and black numeral letters and trim. The Seven City Vets, they're in the traveling sort of orangish with the yellow letters and numbers emblazoned in black. The Shooters, they'll go with Deshaun Barton, Marius Turner, Davlin Garris, Darian Peterson, and Devin Powers. The Seven City Vets, Lewis Freeman, Damon Hickson, DJ Harrell, Greg Gibbs, and Mel Johnson. Ready to get this one underway. We are thrilled to have you with us. The brand new campaign. It'll last all the way and run through probably February, March, and postseason after that as we just finished out the sort of summer campaign and underway here tonight from Williamsburg, Virginia. The Triangle Shooters with the offensive possession to open things up. A missed corner shot by Darius Turner doesn't go. And the Seven City Vets, both these teams hailing from this Williamsburg, Virginia area. That shot from perimeter no good, and the Shooters come in transition. They go to Darian Peterson. He'll put in the first points of the ball game, and it's the Shooters on top here in the early first 30 seconds of this one. My second installment with the PBA. One thing I noticed last year watching a lot of these games, more so in the middle portion of the season, started kind of the beginning of my season out in the Mid-Atlantic region, seeing some teams up and down the East Coast, and then sort of as the summer shifted into early fall, seeing a lot of teams out west in, say, New Mexico, that area. Turnaround jumper, that one banked up and in by Mel Johnson, but not sure they're going to count that as we get a whistle to stop play. Officials do a really good job in this league. Now, again, it's a vast group across the country, but for the most part, they let the guys play. You'll have a lot of up and down play. They'll call what they have to call. But scores tend to be a little elevated. There's a deflected ball, comes up in the air, picked off by Deshaun Barton. Out of the corner, going to let one go and drill it. And the Shooters with a 5-0 lead here early on and looking good to start this one. 3 at the other end of the floor. That one in and out, no good. And the rebound down to Deshaun Barton. So we'll see how up and down we go. The feeling out process as we get the new season and new teams kind of start to get familiar with each other. Inside of Damon Hickman. He'll hit the underside of the rim with that shot. And the Shooters with the early 5 trying to make it 7-0 lead. Can't run that one in off the window by Marius Turner. And a defensive rebound. The Seven City Vets come down with the rebound. Greg Gibbs, right side of the paint. Great pump fake. Got the shot blocked at a corner and out of bounds. It'll stay right here with the Vets. So 5-0 here early on. Couple minutes gone by in the first. Lewis Freeman with the rock. Vets left sideline just hoisting from perimeter, glancing off the window in the rim, and the offensive rebound to Freeman out of the corner. He'll hoist, he'll miss. Great box out job. How about that from Davlin Garris to shield his defender? And he needed a helper to come get the basketball, and Marius Turner did. Here's Darian Peterson back with it. Deshaun Barton, 3-point shot, no good. Both teams early on taking a lot of threes. Lewis Freeman will hand it in the backcourt. DJ Harrell will bring it ahead. And on cue, Harrell, he'll misfire from perimeter. Devon Powers comes into the paint and got knocked to the floor, and a whistle to stop play. That foul on Greg Gibbs. And again, those are the kind of fouls you have to call. Guy goes down hard in the paint. Yeah, that's kind of obvious. But the little ticky-tack stuff, there was maybe one game out of 20 that I was part of last year that really saw things be slowed down by officials calling a lot of the ticky-tack stuff. For the most part, it was a wide-open, full-throttle kind of endeavor on most nights. Ball tipped away by Deshaun Barton. They'll pick it back up on the backcourt. They'll let that go. And early on, this one has all the makings of that style of game. Very up and down and, again, wide open. But right now, teams just missing shots. The shooter's getting Deshaun Barton with a 3 and Darian Peterson with a pair. And that's your 5-0 lead right now. And as you can see with 7:13 to go first quarter. A Mid-Atlantic Division matchup will set the scene for some of the teams that these teams will see throughout the year. Another missed one from perimeter. Neither team trying to establish anything inside. DJ Harrell will take it to the rack, rim that off, no good. Rebound volleyed around off about 4 sets of hands. And another offensive rebound. The Vets get the basketball back. Greg Gibbs, they bring it to the near side wing to Mel Johnson. Foul line extended for Hickman. He'll muscle his way inside and draw a foul. And when things aren't going well from the perimeter, nice decision by the Vets. Give it inside to a guy like Hickman, who you'd think could get to the basket and do some good things. And here gets to the free throw line, trying to put the Vets on the board here in the early going. Well, if you were part of the PBA last year, as Hickman, who hails from L.C. Byrd High School, he's a product of Richmond, Virginia. Missing the first one at the line. He's got one more coming. And he'll put the Vets on the board with their first point in a 5-1 affair. A lot of the teams in this Mid-Atlantic division are sort of newcomers to the Pro Basketball Association by 1891. Our coverage presented by Triangle Media. There's a 3 from Devon Powers. But the Triangle Shooters and Triangle Media teaming up tonight from Williamsburg, Virginia. That one way off the mark from Mel Johnson. And the Shooters come down at a hurry and transition. Take it to the cup, Marius Turner. He's 6'2", and he banks it in, and we get our first stoppage. It comes about halfway home in quarter number 1. 6:10 to go. Shooters out to a big lead early.
Whoa, personal foul.
What the feezy?
You can't use a beard trimmer below the 50-yard line. This is the Waterproof Lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped.
What's the difference?
It's got new skin-safe technology to help reduce cuts and nicks. It's powerful, yet gentle, just like me.
Dog, I appreciate you.
Boop. Hey, watch out. I'm not ticklish. Get yours at manscaped.com.
How about the start here for the home team? The Triangle Shooters out to a 10-1 lead, and you look at the player individual scoring. One thing you do like, they're getting production from a number of different guys. In fact, 10 points is all they have, but 4 different players already in the scoring column, so it's a total group effort here, and you gotta like that. Gibbs off the mark again. And one and done. Shooters done a good job to rebound the basketball as well. Barton the other way in a hurry, glancing off window and scores. And the Triangle Shooters 12-1 take the early storming lead here. And the 7 City Vets better get something figured out. And that one will put the Vets at the line. You never know when that stretch will come in a ball game that will sort of decide things. You dig yourself a deep enough hole early, that could decide it right here for the Vets. Spend the whole rest of the game trying to dig themselves out of that, and there just might not be enough, especially if the shooter's going to score like this. This is Lewis Freeman at the stripe. So both 7 City Vets points have come from the charity line. One from Damon Hickson, one from Lewis Freeman. Glad you're with us tonight, season opener. And a couple for Freeman fall in. So 12-3. Triangle shooters with the lead here, and the basketball with Devon Powers. He gave it to Romello Brown. Back into the corner to Powers. He'll unload the off-balance three that doesn't go. Rebound comes loose. Powers trying to get it back, and a lot of hand fighting, and we'll go whistle and stoppage there as Powers got together with Will Askew. And we go held ball. So you'll have the 6-footer and Devon Powers jumping it up with Askew. You see Darian Peterson walk through the key, and Powers is like, hey, why don't you just jump this up? Peterson, 6'6", would have won a tip easily. Peterson instead has to save a ball on the sideline. Got it into Deshaun Barton, and now it's fumbled, and the Vets pick it up anyway. Coming up on halfway home in the first. Entertaining first quarter, and it doesn't have the feel of, say, a season-opening game. The Vets have not shot it well. They get a three there by Freeman to double their output to make it now a 12-6 affair. Up top, Brown. Give it to the tall, lanky Darian Peterson. Skip it across the top to Barton. And a shot clock violation against the shooters will give the basketball back to the Vets. Greg Allen bringing it to you tonight from Williamsburg Christian Academy. One of the shooters hailing from this high school, Clavon Green, we have yet to see him in the ball game. At the other end, Barton from three. Knock it down. He's got 8. And the shooters continue to shoot it well. They lead 15-6 in the first. And a near takeaway by Barton, but collected at the corner by Mel Johnson. Threads the needle underneath on a tight window to Khalil Jeffries. Fumbled. Shooters get it back. They've got the odd man rush. This is Peterson. Feed inside. And a layup put down by Romello Brown. And the 7 City Vets are in trouble and better be careful as they trail by 11. And we're better than halfway home in the first. Just under now 4 minutes remaining. And that's kind of been the offense lately. Just come down floor and chuck it. That one empty. The shooters have been a little more, maybe this possession notwithstanding, controlled on offense. That missed by Barton, but an offensive rebound. Now a Brown three. That's off the mark. Rebound volleyed around. 7 City comes down with it. 3.5 to go in the first. Lewis Freeman on the move. Kudos to both ball clubs, by the way, for having jerseys where the numbers are easy to read. Broadcasters love that. Ball tipped out of bounds off the miss by DJ Harrell. Saw a number of teams last year where the jerseys look good, but you got to make sure that the numbers are readable for people, especially those in our line of work. Both these teams have done a good job. I really like the Triangle Shooters branding. They are busy on Facebook. If you've not checked them out and you're new to the PBA, the Triangle Shooters are active on social media. In fact, they're the group that posted their entire roster and listed each player's Instagram handle. So you can check all these guys out and do a little deeper dive if you want. Deshaun Barton right now has got it locked in. He's got 11, and it is 20-6. The Vets have dug a huge hole here in this quarter. That will help from the left wing. Make it 20-8 off the basket. Floater into paint, falls. That was the aforementioned Clavon Green, so there he is. Played his high school ball right here at the other end of the floor. Ciante will score his first points. And we'll get a whistle to go with that as well. So we sit 22-10. Ciante trying to make it 11. Empty there, rebound volley, tipped around, belongs to the Vets. At 22-10, nice defense by Peterson to lock up Johnny Thompson. 7 City gets it back. And Justin Ned deals it off in the corner. This is Thompson on the move, lost the handle on it, and fumbled it out of bounds and turned it over. And the shooters will get the basketball back. Here's the hometown kid right here, Clevon Green, 6'2" guard. Originally out of Yorktown, Virginia. Darian Peterson to Green, backpicked, and then that attempted rocket down floor, deflected by Green. Peterson on the give to the trailer. Brown circus shot. He almost got it to go, but it rimmed out and came down to the Vets. Now on the move, Ned feathers a pass into the corner. The 3 off the mark, no good. Rebound by Clevon Green. And he'll hand it off to Barton, who will slowly and smartly bring it down floor. Barton to Turner. Coming up in quarter 2, we'll talk about some of the teams these two will see throughout the season as far as divisional matchups in this Mid-Atlantic region. Turner off the mark on that shot. Here's Ciante. Top of the circle. Jeffries with the dribble. Tries to spin it on Peterson, who may have got a piece of that shot, but an offensive rebound, and then taken away. Green back the other way. On the move. He's comfortable here. Gets to the rim. And that time not friendly for him as we approach a minute to go in the period. Jeffries, nice. Feathered pass down low and on the move. We get a travel or a foul to put Johnny Thompson on the deck. It's going to be the latter rather than the former. They call Darian Peterson with the push. And so Johnny Thompson with his club down a does. We'll get to the foul line, trying to cut into this 12-point shooter's lead. Season opener for both ball clubs tonight. Brand new season in the PBA by 1891. Thompson makes the second. It's 22-11. Shooters have the Vets doubled up here in the first as we wind it down to the end of 1. Tight to the sideline. Turner stays inbound for the time being. Bounce entry feed to Peterson. Good inside-outside game. Boy, Barton has not been shy to take the 3, hasn't he? He's already got 11. He's hit 3 from back there. And there's no doubt he's a catch-and-shoot kind of guy. He's not one of these guys that, you know, takes a long time to get set, has to look at it. And if you watch him, you might think, oh, he's just rushing the shot. He's just kind of slinging it up there, but he's bottomed 3 of them here in this first quarter. And with just under 36 ticks to go, I mean, he's matched 7 City on his own. And now he's eclipsed him. 12 for Deshaun Barton, 11 for the Vets. The dozen-point lead reestablished here for Triangle. Give him 13. All right, Darian Peterson, he's been active as he comes off the floor here with the final half minute ready to roll off the clock. Final of 3 free throws for Deshaun Barton. Stood up there, and not only can he hit 3 from beyond the arc, he can hit 3 free throws in a row. 25-11. Well, as good a first quarter as the Triangle shooters probably could have ordered ahead of time. If you can order in advance. 25-11. The defense, when they had to, and I say when they had to, maybe not so much on that trip, as Justin Ned banks in 2. It's 25-13. Has been good. And a lot of times they haven't had to play much defense because the Vets have just come down and sort of chucked it from perimeter. And it hasn't required much defense other than maybe, say, a rebound. Final seconds of the first. Stop and go. Here's another perimeter shot out of the corner. No good. Tipped up. Trying to get the handle on it and flip it back up, but the buzzer sounds, and that is the end of one. Shooters out to a quick 12-1 lead. They ride it out to the end of one and lead the Vets by 12.
What happens when everything we know about something changes?
I tell people all the time, this is the best American story you never heard.
We're out hitting the pavement, talking to restaurants, talking to bars.
I don't think of myself as a whiskey salesperson. I want you to know his name.
Drink by drink, we're bringing this story to light.
When we have to step back through the pages of history.
It's so much more than whiskey. It's so much more than a brand. It's a movement.
When we have to make amends and pay respect.
We're honoring the greatest whiskey maker the world never knew. And it's beautiful.
And give credit where credit is due.
Uncle Nearest is the godfather of Tennessee whiskey, and the world needs to know it.
What happens? We do it. Uncle Nearest, it's more than whiskey.
Vet basketball to start the second, and away we go. So thrilled to bring it to you tonight here on this first Saturday in November. Runner off rim. Vets get to the cup that time, but Romello Brown brings down the rebound. Shooters missed there with Powers. You get the sense, nice Euro step move, but Ziante couldn't take advantage of that. Underneath, a little bit of contact there, not called. Rebound, put back try. 2 cracks at it for Hickman. He got the second to go. And that's the opening points of quarter number 2. 10-point lead for the Shooters. Triangles they've done a really good job of ball movement. They haven't faced much resistance. It's been very fluid on the offensive end for the Shooters. Powers catch and shoot there, no good. Rebounded by Greg Gibbs. There hasn't been a lot of fouls called. It makes for a very watchable, enjoyable style of game, in my opinion. Again, and this is kind of how games were last year in the PBA. Very up and down, very fluid. There's a nice athletic move that are in by Marius Turner. He's got 4. Boy, the Shooters, after they jumped out to a 12-1 lead, that advantage is just kind of hung there. Freeman's got 7. He cashes that shot out and down to 10, but 7 City's got a ways to go. Trying to cut into a double-digit lead, and they've looked at the board for a number of minutes now, staring a double-digit deficit in the face. It's hovered between 10 and 12, really. Powers going to draw contact and get fouled. And so free throws coming up for Devon Powers. Where's the ever popular 75? How many guys on the hardwood do you see donning and rocking the 75? Got to be a reason for it. Don't know why, but there's got to be a reason. He makes one of 2. Maybe he's hoping that's his point total every night. If he would reach that, the Shooters would be undefeated. To the rack that time. Ziante's going to get fouled, and he'll go to the line. This hasn't had the feel of kind of an opening night sort of game. The shooting hasn't been spot on. The Vets certainly wish that their shooting percentage would be a little better than it currently is. That notwithstanding, been a pretty good basketball game to this point. 28-17, quarter 2. And missing a pair, but an offensive rebound and a side pocket 3 doesn't go. That one off the mark from Gibbs, rebounded by the shooters, and here comes Powers again. Turner tries to take his man off the dribble, got to the rack, tipped up, no good. Rebound volleyed around, nice rebound by Devon Hickman rather. They'll give it off to Gibbs. It's the screen from Mel Johnson, dishes left wing. We're 2.5 into stanza 2. We're in Williamsburg, Virginia tonight, Mid-Atlantic Division season opener for both these ball clubs as a new PBA campaign gets underway, and Gibbs misses. Rebound again, Powers, who's been very busy here in quarter 2. Powers finds an open man. That's Peterson. Shot just eluded the defense of Hickman, and Peterson able to put it home. He's got 4. And now it's a 13-point triangle lead. In the lane, that shot got deflected and then pushed out of bounds. That should be Shooters basketball unless they called a foul on the drive inside by Gibbs. I think that's what he's arguing. I think that's the call. Well, it was kind of a wild swipe at the shot. I could see why they would call that. But if they would have let that go, I thought for certain the ball was swatted out of bounds by the Vets. But instead, it's Gibbs at the line, and he's got the first. And here we are back in a 12-point deficit. This is kind of where the whole game is just sort of hung right here at a 12-point margin. And unfortunately for the Vets, they've been on the short end of that the whole way since they trailed early 12-1, and it ballooned out to a 12-point deficit. Gibbs trying to trim it by one more. So he's got 2. Coming up on 3.5 gone by. Second stanza from the home of the Eagles here at Williamsburg Christian Academy in Virginia. Powers, nice decision to dump that off. Peterson going to pull up at the foul line and hit. All right, Darian Peterson, he's got a couple of field goals here in this quarter. 32-19. And the Shooters are on a pretty good scoring pace here. And there's a crashing the board effort from Devon Hickman and knocked it out of bounds. Could have easily called a foul on that effort by Hickman, but they let that go. And again, that's those kind of plays. They tend to not call that sort of action. I personally like that. You'd have stoppages the entire game. I like the more wide open style of officiating. Shooters empty on that possession. Here come the Vets. And in the lane, little body-to-body contact not called as Harrell got in the lane. Rebound put back, and Ciante is going to score his second field goal. He's got 4. Now 32-21, back to an 11-point spread. And the Vets, they're looking for somebody, anybody, to sort of get hot and turn the tide here a little bit. As we are about halfway home in the second. Baseline turnaround, quick shot, no good from Peterson. That's not been the Shooters' MO this entire game. It's been a little more set up than that. That was kind of a rushed shot by Peterson. On the move, Freeman. He'll go to the cup, but Peterson, the long arm of the law that time, out to Barton in transition. He'll lay it home. A 16-point half for Deshaun Barton, and the Triangle Shooters back to a 13-point spread. A brilliant opening night for the Shooters. Ciante can't finish, but an offensive rebound will fall for Hickman as he's got 5. And again, we sort of just volley around that 12-point margin. A rushed shot that time by Barton. Gibbs brings down the rock for the 7 City Vets on offense with Ciante. He'll spin it home. He's got 6. Well, that for the first time in some time cuts it to single digits. It hasn't been single digits since 15-6 early in quarter 1. So since 15-6, the Vets have looked at that board, and it's been a double-digit deficit until now for the first time in a long time. Clavon Green will throw it in. And a risky inbound, tipped, and Peterson's not going to go get it. He's going to bank on the officials seeing that properly on a contested ball, hoping they give it to his club, and they will. So a basketball to the Triangle Shooters. And Marius Turner in the offensive half court. Gets it back from Green, hoist from three, off the mark, and all of a sudden the shooters have gone a little cold here, but they're getting rebounds, and Brown will hoist and hit from three. And well, that's, if you're the vets, those are the kind of trips that really hurt. I mean, you sort of did everything right. You talked them into a rushed shot. Ciante at the other end is getting aggressive, and all of a sudden he's got something going, and he's going to the line for three. He's got 8 in the game. So 37 to at present 27. With one more potential at the line coming here. And boy, those offensive rebounds by the shooters, especially when they turn them into 3 points. And Ciante, all of a sudden off the bench, has become the leading scorer for the Seven City Vets. He's got 9. Well, we told you they're looking for somebody to sort of get locked in. They don't care who it is. They'll take a guy off the bench to spark him. Brown in the paint, no. Peterson, oh, brilliant pump fake. Goes up strong, able to finish. Darian Peterson's got 8. Active hands inside lead to good things for the Triangle Shooters, and back to a double-digit lead of 11. The 6'6" Darian Peterson. Vets on the move with Freeman. Trying to dance on perimeter with Romello Brown. Will just shoot over him way off the mark. And if you're the shooters, you'll take that shot. Green at the other end, and in rhythm 3, no good. Almost another offensive rebound by Romello Brown, but able to hang on to it, the Vets. This one in rhythm from Harold, no. And again, a lot of threes being taken. Green will give. Barton misses another one. A lot of threes being taken, a lot of threes being missed. Nice job by Clevon Green to help up the Seven City Vet that he had collided with. Ciante from perimeter. A dozen for him. And it is down to an 8-point game. And a stoppage with just under 2.5 to go, and the shooters' lead is 8.
Tour be lit. First of all, to even be on tour, you gotta be one of the super duper flies.
People in Atlanta, they love Slutty Vegan, but like outside of Atlanta, it's crazy.
The adrenaline rush that you get from it is amazing.
We do celebrity events, casting calls, video shoots.
When they say it's fresh and ready to go, like it's fresh and ready to go. We do it all ourselves. No machines, no nothing. We literally just got flat tops, grills, and fryers.
Being on the road and being on tour specifically, it's like you're a celebrity.
Been to Boston, Tampa, Alabama a few times, North Carolina.
The fact that we are able to travel together is like a whole different relationship.
I like to call us we're like Fast and Furious, right? Like it's, we're on the road. We're not in expensive cars or muscle cars, but we're in a big giant yellow truck.
If somebody's got it and they're special and you see it, and you want to work somewhere where you can just be yourself, this is the place. We make good tip money, you get to meet all types of people, and it's fun.
Well, the Seven City Vets have gotten this thing to 8. Can they have a push here in the final 2:28? Not that 8 isn't manageable, but they've done a good job to cut it to single digits. I'd like to get a little closer by the close of the quarter. Plays like that will not help. That was a great backdoor cut and a great find by Clevon Green. And Darian Peterson's got 10, and it's back to a 10-point game. Turnover, 3-on-1 the other way. Here's a little too acrobatic of a move underneath, and Lewis Freeman. I thought we got a hand on that. And they're going to give the ball to the Vets, 41-31. quickly off the inbound. Vets back to work on offense, down 10. Pull up foul line extended, rattles in and out and back in for Freeman. He's got 9. We told you in the second quarter we'd take you through some of the Mid-Atlantic foes. This has been a quick quarter here. Marius Turner cashes out the 3, his first one from distance. And back to 11 we go at 44-33. There's a bit of a flop job by the defender. No, they do get the offensive foul called on Lewis Freeman. Clavon Green did a good job to sell that deal and get a foul called on Freeman. And we get another stoppage here late in the second. We'll keep it here with 1:35 to go. And tell you, this Mid-Atlantic division, as the margin you can see is 11. The DLS Rockets, they'll return, and they'll play within this grouping of teams. It also includes the DC Crank. You got a pile of teams from North Carolina. Tell you what, the teams that aren't in North Carolina ought to just plan like a 2-week trip down there and play all the teams and go through those squads in a, say 6-7 games in 14 days and just call it a big road trip. You got the Wilmington Heat, the Charlotte Fearbrand, the East Carolina Buccaneers, the Fayetteville Flight, and the Kannapolis Pressure, all from the Tar Heel State. And then you got the Bridgetown Bombers out of West Virginia. The DLS Rockets are out of New York. And both of these teams, the Seven City Vets and the Triangle Shooters, they will get very familiar with that group out of West Virginia, the Bridgetown Bombers. The Vets have 4 matchups against that Bomber group. First one coming up on November the 27th, so later on this month. The Triangle Shooters, they'll play the Wilmington Heat next. There's a 3 from Darian Peterson, who's had a brilliant half. 13 for him. And it is ballooned to a 14-point game, and another offensive foul, this time by DJ Harrell. And again, it's Clavon Green to draw it. He's drawn 2 down low, keeping the Vets off the scoreboard, and his team has capitalized on the other end offensively. And how about the hometown guy in Clavon Green? Even does a little mop duty while he's at it. Now the Triangle Shooters, they will play the Bridgetown Bombers 5 times. They'll see them first middle of this month on November 19th. They'll get them here at home for the first time December 3rd. Again, there's a lot of teams in the North Carolina region that these groups will have to go play on the road. You could do it in one fell swoop. That'd be a little better than 6 or 7 independent trips down there. Well, that was a nifty give off the fact that Deshaun Barton got rid of it, went out of bounds, came back in and knocked down a triple. And it is 50-33. And the Vets, instead of taking an 8-point deficit and trying to get a little closer, it has gotten away from him here in the final seconds of stanza 2. And this time trying for a 3rd straight charge call. This one given a block instead to Marius Turner. And Ciante at the foul line. A 17-point Triangle Shooter lead. Well, they look good here on opening night. $13 off the bench for the guy donning number 1 for the Seven City Vets. Try to bring him within 15, and does. Well, he's got 14. NBA shot clock to go here in this second stanza coming up on intermission. Oh, flipping one up, and Deshaun Barton kissed that off the window, and it went in. Now the Shooters have a big lead to start the 3rd. Seconds remaining. Ciante going to take it himself, you would think. No, the kick out and the 3 from Harrell with the buzzer coming off the mark, and it is all Triangle Shooters in half 1. They lead the Seven City Vets 52-35 at the half here in Williamsburg.
When I came home from prison in 2001, I had a tough time finding a job. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? When you get to that part of the application, your heart starts beating fast, your hands become sweaty. It doesn't matter your education or work experience. That's gonna be the determining factor. What up, man? What's up with you? Nothing, man. How you getting it, man? Regular military, got no size. I would fill out an application and they tell me that they're not hiring, but they got now hiring signs on the window.
Did that make you go back to doing some of the things that you were doing before?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they forced you to.
Set up. Right?
It's like set up. It's systematically set up for you to have to go back. I was 3 years old when the U.S. Marshals came, beat down the door, and got my dad. Maybe like 5 the second time. I just kept asking my mom, like, yo, where's my dad? Where's he at? He would tell my grandmother, I'm not trying to do that no more. I'm trying to get my life right.
What up, boy? What's up with you, boy? Good to see you. Good to see you, man.
Being a barber changed my dad. Being able to have a community that he can turn to when he needed something, that helped him a lot.
That was a hard moment for me last year.
All those ups and downs that you've been through, to look at you now, I'm so proud of you. I'm happy to call you my dad, man.
What you just said right there is what it was all about. Everything that I've done was for that. Now I can retire. So I can retire now. Old man still got it.
Ooh, now that look good, man.
Ready to open up the second half of play. It'll be Vets basketball to start. 52-35. Opening night in a brand new Pro Basketball Association season by 1891. Greg Allen with the call for you tonight from Williamsburg. From Williamsburg Christian Academy. We start with a 3 and a missed one by DJ Harrell, but an offensive rebound this time by Johnny Thompson, who gets the start of the second half. Did not start the game for the Vets. Shooters with a bit of a drop pass that eventually came down to Darian Peterson. They get it back inside. Davlin Garris, who we've not seen much of in this game. And he'll be called for an offensive foul himself, Will Gavlin, or Garris rather. Davlin Garris. And you see him right there. Boy, there's a quick trip back to the bench to start the third for Davlin Garris after the foul. Romello Brown back in. He's played well. They get a takeaway there. Feed up floor. Brown trying to run that down. Was a little too deep by the time he was able to get the handle on it. Here comes Greg Gibbs. The Vets have a lot of work to do in this third, and possessions like that won't help. I think Johnny Thompson looked up, saw an orange jersey over here, and it happened to be a guy on the bench. And not a guy on the floor. Minute gone by in the third. We're presented by Triangle Media here in this Pro Basketball Association campaign. Devon Powers in the corner, let one go. I thought that was Romello Brown for 3, and he nailed it. It was Brown. He's got 8. And it is out to a 20-point lead. It might get worse here, and it will. Deshaun Barton, 23 for him. It is 57 and now 38 after that triple. That was Greg Gibbs on the shot. He's got 5. Gibbs going for 2 more. No, but fouled. You can really track back. We were talking the Vets. We're down 8 with about 2 and change to go in the second. And there were back-to-back trips where Clavon Green drew charges. One of those possessions, you see Green right there wearing number 1 in white coming back in. He was the guy that drew those charges. One of those possessions for his shooters at the offensive end after that resulted in a 3. But those are sort of energy changers. And Clavon Green has had a big part in this ballgame, despite the fact he's only scored 2. But you can do some good things with defense, and that time he's going to tie the shooter up. And we will go to a jump ball, at least based on what the side official said. And I think that's what we got. And that time it wasn't Green that they got for the held possession. It was Marius Turner. Powers just inside the 3-point arc. Boy, the shooters have had the stroke, haven't they? 59-38 in the third. And a big ask on opening night for the Seven City Vets to try to come back from a 3-touchdown deficit. They have put that one on a board as a 3. I thought it was a 2, but they changed it to a 3, so make the lead now 22 with just under 7.5 to go. To the basket. Peterson double clutched it for some reason. Maybe thought he got hit. Gibbs at the other end and a give up, and now Thompson off the mark from 3, and here comes Romello Brown and the shooters. He'll go Euro step, flip it on rim. Couldn't get it to fall. Just came off to Lewis Freeman, and the Vets back with it, but down by 22. Pocket pass inside, Damon Hickman, and he'll go to the stripe. He's fouled. They did put that last converted basket by the shooters up there as a 3-pointer. So 60-38. Hickman out of Richmond, Virginia. Back rim and off. Ciante back on the floor for the Seven City Vets, and he may not leave the floor again. He's got a team-high 14 off the bench, mind you. One more, Hickman, good. He's got 6. 60-39. Vets down a bundle. That could have been called a travel on Powers, but not. Green, back to Powers. Great pump fake out of the corner, but Peterson didn't do anything else with it for the time being. Now hop step to the basket, put it up, put it in. Darian Peterson has been a load tonight to deal with for the Vets. Turnover, Green the other way, yes. Another takeaway, another great defensive play by Clavon Green. This time he turns it into points. It is 64-39 and a triangle shooter runaway until that 3-point shot puts the Vets at 42. Powers. That may have been kicked, and it was. Coming up on midway through the third, Khalil Jeffries and Will Askew coming back on the floor. Lewis Freeman also back as well. Now the shooters have, I mean, you know, my first look at them for obviously a new program. Here's an alley-oop effort, and they can't finish that. It got broken up in the air. Here's Khalil Jeffries. They keep possession, pump fake on a three, go to the basket, and drive and score. Will Askew's got his first points, 64-44. They've got some players. Deshaun Barton's got 23. Darian Peterson, you tag team those two guys at the top, and then you got Romello Brown right here. He'll miss that shot. You get a kind of a shifty guy in Clavon Green who does a lot of good things, maybe without scoring so much. There's an interior basket. I thought that was Khalil Jeffries on the hoop. This is a good unit, good looking group here. If night number one is any indication for this triangle shooter team. Halfway home in the third, that time a turnover. And Deshaun Barton kind of leaned into his defender after the fact. We'll see where this foul's going to go. Got to call that on the vets, I think. And based on trying to plead his case, Ciante with the foul. Can always sort of tell who the foul is on. It's usually on the guy pleading his case to the official. How about that offensive rebound put back by Brown? He didn't get the call. The wanted one didn't come. Freeman, other end, empty. No, Peterson fighting for that rebound hard. And are we going hell ball or what do we got? I'm going to call a foul on Romello Brown. Winding our way through the third. Shooters get the Wilmington Heat next. Right of the block, Jeffries over Peterson, hangs and hits. Khalil Jeffries has 6. 64-48, but a long road to get back into this thing for the group out of 7 City. Brown in the corner. This is Green spinning. Played some time at Radford in college. Wild off the window and rim from Devon Powers. Vets come down floor with Freeman. He'll go pretty much uncontested to the rack and lay it home. He's got 11, and that takes us to a timeout. All shooters in this one comfortably ahead here in the third.
Whoa, personal foul.
What the feezy?
You can't use a beard trimmer below the 50-yard line. This is the waterproof lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped.
What's the difference?
It's got new skin-safe technology to help reduce cuts and nicks. It's powerful, yet gentle, just like me.
Dog, I appreciate you.
Boop. Hey, watch out. I'm not ticklish. Get yours at manscaped.com.
Back inside Williamsburg Christian Academy here in Virginia. Greg Allen bringing it to you on Triangle Media by 1891. Brand new season of the PBA getting underway tonight. Well, anxious to see a number of the teams that we saw last year that were big-time contenders. The Dothan Snipers had a good year. The Georgia Vipers. Inside Powers, no good. We're just under 4 minutes remaining here in the third. The Vets here in the corner with Freeman. He'll hit from 3. He's gone for 14. Give the Vets a little bit of credit. They were left on death's door here, and they've come to within 11. Green for 3, trying to get them all back. No, in this trip, the Vets can get it to single digits. Haven't been there in a while. The Fort Worth Firm, the 2-time defending league champs, and there's a nice little creative up and under move inside. And it is 64-55, and don't look now, but the Vets are not out of this deal. And the Vets are getting the ball back. That last basket by Ciante, he's got 16. A lot of new teams, though, this year in the PBA. It'll be anxious to see some of them as we climb through this campaign. So a 9-point ball game. To the basket, great pump fake. Ciante, 2 more. He's got 18 points. And it has been a whale of a comeback here for the Seven City Vets. The shooters feeling some of that pressure, go inside with Powers to convert 2. Defender falls down, and an easy basket the other way for Khalil Jeffries. It's 66-59. Ball knocked away from Turner, able to get it back. Coming up on 2 minutes to go. Turner, nice job to get to the basket around his defender. He's got 9, he scores inside. Under 2 remaining. Nice chase block, but a foul called with it as well. I thought Darian Peterson got that clean, but the Zebra saw it another way. Opening night here in the PBA this time around. Well, the New Mexico Blue Tails had a great season as well last year. But it is a growing, budding league that has had a lot of new teams latch on here for this new campaign that starts tonight. Teams like the Tennessee Speed, the Lancaster Thunder, Jeffries with another. And it is 68-60 and a loose ball. Shooters turn it over. Here come the Vets. Late give up underneath. Left of the block, back out. How about this big time shot? If that would have gone, Will Askew could have brought the group to within 2 possessions. But it didn't fall with 90 remaining in quarter 3. Challenging. Powers trying to get to the basket to no avail. Side pocket 3, Askew, he's missed the last 2. Rebound by Green. Now the shooters just sort of in hang-on mode. It's interesting to say that because if they're still up by 8, and if you remember back in quarter 2, when the shooters were hanging out of that near 12-point lead for the better part of what seemed like an entire quarter, and the Vets finally got it down to 8, it still felt like they had so much more to go. Now they're down by 8, but they've been down by 22. Everything's relative. Here's Deshaun Barton. He's gone for 2 dozen tonight at opening night. The Waco Terror unveiling their program tonight on opening night, taking on the San Antonio Powerhouse. 70-60 as we wind our way through the final minute here of the third. And that shot up and good. 70-62. Been a really nice job by the Seven City Vets to even be in this game at this point. I mean, they could have easily just mailed this thing in and said, you know, we're down 22. It's just not our night. They've gotten it down to 8 a couple of times. Baseline pull up good for Marius Turner, who's got 11. But you spend the whole time trying to climb up that mountain. They have enough left in the tank come fourth quarter, which is about a half a minute away. Got 2 free throws coming here for Greg Gibbs. And at this point, Every opportunity is a big one for 7 City. And Gibbs answers the bell on that one. It'll be fun to follow the progress of all these teams throughout this new season. Couple at the line there, back to 8 again. But the Shooters can play like this consistently on most nights. They're in for a pretty good year. Marius Turner, no good from the foul line. Big close of the third trip coming here for the 7 City Vets. They're down by 8. A triple could cut it to 5. The final 10 ticks of the third. On perimeter, this is Justin Ned with the rock. Sizing up his man, gonna take him one-on-one off the dribble. Spin inside, flip it up glass, no good. Rebound to who else but Clavon Green. He'll fire at length of the court, and that will be 3/4 of play. 8-point lead for the Triangle Shooters, who at one point led by 22 as we go to the fourth in Williamsburg.
You see, black people have always needed a place to gather since the beginning of time. To build, to reflect, to inspire, to connect. They say if you want to go fast, then go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. See, in continuing to fight for our lives to matter, we must have a place to gather, to write a chapter, enjoy the laughter, think and capture, sharpen our skills until they master. Not only a place to fraternize, but to strategize and analyze and advertise and sometimes just fantasize. See, there's a certain brilliance that only comes from the collective. One for all and all for one is the objective. You get the message. See, we've always needed a place for like minds to collide and unlike minds to gain a better understanding of the other side. You know the vibe. You may want to switch lanes and you need a place to pick brains and network with big names. The level up is insane. The true meaning of for us, by us, with us, grown by us, stories told by us, shown by us, loaned by us, so it's always owned by us. Somebody better write a song about us. We all we got. We all we got. So meet me down at the gathering spot.
Fourth quarter ready to commence here on opening night. The Vets, the Shooters. The PBA by 1891. The Winter Campaign opening up tonight. Also another matchup tonight. The Lancaster Thunder and the Shoreline Wolves. They're playing that one at Ohio University Lancaster tonight. A couple of other different names if you followed the PBA last year. And there's an offensive foul called against the Triangle Shooters. So the Vets right off the hop here to start the fourth. They've had a couple of possessions down 8, but haven't been able to get any closer, and they won't on that trip either. Freeman misses. Barton rebounds. Green the other way. Deals it off to the trailer. 3 in the air, no good, but an offensive rebound by Keandre Merritt, who we haven't talked much about and is at a quiet night tonight. He's 6'2", finds himself in the game here in the fourth quarter. We're a half a minute in. The Vets, high flying move to the basket and draw the foul with a block. Underneath called against Davlin Garris. Boy, it has been a tough night tonight for Davlin Garris. That's the guy that just at the start of the third quarter committed a foul and immediately came off the floor. Well, we're 40 seconds into the fourth. We'll see if that pattern holds true to form here. Garris has just not been able to stay out there tonight. He's 6'5". And Garris is right back out again. Well, he's committed 2 fouls at the start of each of the last 2 quarters and has been on the floor for less than a minute each time. This time, 40 seconds. 72-64 turns to 65, and that is the closest the Vets have been in a long time. They've cut it under 8. And they can't trim it by one more. Shooters better be careful here. They might give up this ball game. Green in the lane. Rims off, no good. Now the Vets, the door is open. Chance with a Euro step drive to the cup. No, can't finish inside for Harrell. Defensive rebound by the Shooters, and Triangle gets it back. Here comes Merritt. All of a sudden in crunch time, we're getting our first look at this guy, and he's arguing for a foul. We get something. We'll see who it's going to be on. It looks like it's against the Vets. The last time it's been a 7-point game was 64-57 in the third. I actually thought it was way back in quarter 1. They, for a blink, had it down to 7 in the third. Inside, Turner challenged, wiped away. The Vets, the golden opportunity continues. Freeman out of the corner, and I don't know if Peterson got a piece of that shot or not, but it was way off the mark. And here comes Green in the corner. Merritt, and he'll knock one home. Keandre Merritt, his first action, and it pays off large for the Shooters. 75-65, a 10-point game coming up on 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. The Vets, will they get a better chance than they just had? Lewis Freeman has had a really solid night tonight. 75-67. Will you couple him with Ciante, Damon Hickman, Khalil Jeffries, and if Greg Gibbs, you get the sense that Greg Gibbs, he's 20 in orange, can be kind of one of those streaky shooter kind of guys. Turn around by Green, no good. You see Gibbs there in the backcourt coming down floor without the ball just in front of you. Calling for the ball, wanting the ball, dishing in the corner. Harrell, he's had a struggling night tonight, but not that time as he knocks down a 3. It is 75-70. The Vets have it down to 5. They outscored the Shooters 29-20 in the third to turn around a 17-point halftime deficit. We'll finish the Greg Gibbs thought in a moment. Here's Green on perimeter. Barton's been relatively quiet lately, 0 in white. Baseline jumper, Peterson, no. Rebound tipped in the lane, grabbed by Justin Ned. Gives it to an unexpected teammate, and Harrell able to make the catch and a handoff on the near side wing. Freeman going to direct traffic. We're just over 3 minutes gone by in the final stanza. Harrell hard to the cup, into the corner. Nice pass underneath, and they couldn't quite connect with Damon Hickman. It got turned over. The other way comes Turner in the corner for 3, and there's Deshaun Barton. Ask and thy shall receive. 28 for him. A mammoth shot here in the fourth quarter for the Triangle Shooters to maintain that sizable lead back to 8. And a foul in the corner is going to come on Green. Well, back to the Greg Gibbs discussion. From what I've seen of him tonight, 20 right in front of you there in orange. He just, the way he has unloaded shots tonight, you get the sense that if he can hit like 2 or 3 in a row early, he can be in for a big night. Kind of one of those guys that, man, if they ever start falling, just kind of look out. He's on the move here, going to hoist from 15th at the foul line. Empty, but the putback, Ciante, nobody got crushed. Now Gibbs tonight is gone for 7. The lead is 8. Ciante's got 18. He's going to the line here. Vets down 8 in quarter 4. Triangle Shooters next game a week from today at the Wilmington Heat. Ciante trims it by one more, 78-71. We're in the fourth. when we were in the third of a 22-point game. You never thought we'd be here. But lo and behold, that's why you got to watch the proceedings and see how it all unfolds. Peterson with a miss. Rebound Vets. Gibbs on the move. Going to dish it off to Harrell. He'll unload the three. And his tough night continues. He scored just three. Coming up on midway through the fourth of an entertaining opening night game. Able to keep that one in play. The shooters, Powers, takes his man off the dribble, no good. Rebound brought down by Freeman. Gibbs picks it up, back to Freeman, 3-on-2 to the trailer. Gibbs hard down the lane, got a block to the backside by Peterson, and a foul called, albeit late. Well, if that's on Peterson, I don't like it at all. I thought he got the backside chase block clean from over the head of Gibbs, and it's not on him. So Peterson can stop chirping. They're going to call it instead on Marius Turner. I'm a lot better with that too. If they'd have called that on Darian Peterson, I did not see a foul in that exchange, at least as far as Peterson was concerned. So 7-point game. It was 5 moments ago. Ciante on the move, going to challenge inside, up and under move, can't finish. Peterson wipes it clean with 5.25 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, but tight one all of a sudden. 7 City has spent the better part of the entire game. They have never led, trying to battle back. They trailed early 12-1. Powers, nice cut to the basket. Dealt that pass. I don't know how he wrapped that pass around to Peterson. And Triangle continues the possession, but the shot clock winding down. Going to have to chuck. Back rim, no. Rebound, Vets. This is Gibbs on the move. Euro step to the cup, put it home. Greg Gibbs explodes to the basket. And we're back to a 5-point spread, 78-73. The Vets got behind early 5-0, then 12-1, 22-10, and then trailed in the third by 22. They're within 5, and the ball. Gibbs on the move. He does not have numbers. Going to give the trailer Freeman. He'll go hard to the cup, put it up, no good. He rushed that shot, and a rebound by Marius Turner. And a big-time collision near the timeline. That had to be a foul, not called. Maybe shouldn't have let that one go, but it works out for the Vets. They've got the basketball back. I don't know why in the world Ciante was taking his time. We play on here. Stop and go move over Peterson. Going to let it go, and got it! 21, and they are within 3 here in the fourth quarter. An incredible comeback by the 7 City Vets to be within 1 possession with just under 4 minutes to go.
What happens when everything we know about something changes?
I tell people all the time, this is the best American story you never heard.
We're out hitting the pavement, talking to restaurants, talking to bars.
I don't think of myself as a whiskey salesperson. I want you to know his name.
Drink by drink, we're bringing this story to light.
When we have to step back through the pages of history.
It's so much more than whiskey. It's so much more than a brand. It's a movement.
When we have to make amends and pay respect.
We're honoring the greatest whiskey maker the world never knew. And it's beautiful.
And give credit where credit is due.
Uncle Nearest is the godfather of Tennessee whiskey, and the world needs to know it.
What happens? We do it. Uncle Nearest, it's more than whiskey.
Well, I did some math during the break. It actually was a triangle 25-point lead at one juncture. 64-39 in the third quarter. How do you turn that around to where we are now? And the basketball turnover. Quick bucket coming here. And how about this? We'll ask you the steal off the inbound, and they're within 1. Another takeaway. 7 City for the lead from 3. No good. And is there a foul call? No, I think the ball's just out of bounds underneath. 78-77. Since the 64-39 25-point triangle lead, 7 City is on a 38-14 run. And there was nothing up until that point to tell you that was coming. Nothing. Now, DJ Harrell, he was the one that hoisted that 3, and he just rushed off the floor and was hobbling badly. Triangle basketball. Oh, they have just absolutely gone in the freezer offensively. Deshaun Barton, they've gotten away from what made them so dynamic in the first half. Romello Brown missing. They got turnovers, they had baskets in transition, they had in-rhythm shots, and since midway through the third, the script has flipped with 3.25 minutes to go here. You see Harrell in the bottom corner of your screen. That's just good for his sake. And you get a reach-in foul in the backcourt. That'll stop that break by Deshaun Barton. There's nothing in this game that said there was a 38-14 run coming. Nothing. Well, Harrell right back on the floor. Now, Lewis Freeman has sort of led the way here in this second half. Ciante did a good job as best he could to kind of get the Vets to at least sort of hang around. But Freeman has added a lot of fuel to the fire here in this second half. Lob over the top. The shooters with a 1-point lead. Powers trying to make it 3 but can't. And another trip where the Vets can take the lead. This would just cap an absolute remarkable turnaround on opening night. I don't like the 3. It didn't go by Freeman. I know he's got the hot hand. But you got to have a little extended possession on that trip and a little more in-rhythm shot. This thing has tightened dramatically. Barton for 3, and he'll nail it. 31 for him, a huge shot for Triangle. Inside, Gibbs forces one, doesn't get a foul call. The shooters get the basketball back, and here comes Romello Brown. All of a sudden, a very tight game in the fourth. Deshaun Barton. Darian Peterson. He hasn't done much offensively lately. He'll try to change that here. Got to the cup, got the drop step, and missed the shot. Wanted to foul and get the call there. Ciante the other way. He's just going to plow through a guy, and that's the easiest charge call of the night. Now, Ciante's going to plead his case, but he's there. No, not on that one. That was about as easy as they come. And it wasn't, he's trying to argue his defender was moving, right? If you lower the shoulder, though, and just wipe the guy out, 4-point lead. Shooters trying to win on opening night. They led by 25 in the third. And there were multiple trips here lately where the Vets had the ball with a chance to take the lead, down 1. Now it's 4. And we're down to the final 100 seconds of regulation. Never thought we'd have to say that in the third. Barton moving 3, no, and no whistle. Rebound out of the Vets. Oh, great cross-court pass. On the move, Ciante to Lewis Freeman. He fills it up. It's 81-79. Shooters not out of the woods yet. Cradling to the basket, Marius Turner with 13. He scores. Well, all these points are huge for the shooters. They're back to a 4-point advantage. In the corner, good look at it. Askew gonna hit. Yeah, you can't ask for much more in an opener than what we've gotten tonight. Entertaining stuff from Williamsburg. And a timeout in a 1-point game. Shooter basketball when we come back.
Tour be lit. First of all, to even be on tour, you gotta be one of the super duper flies.
People in Atlanta, they love Slutty Vegan, but like outside of Atlanta, it's crazy.
The adrenaline rush that you get from it is amazing.
We do celebrity events, casting calls, video shoots.
When they say it's fresh and ready to go, like it's fresh and ready to go. We do it all ourselves. No machines, no nothing. We literally just got flat tops, grills, and fryers.
Being on the road and being on tour specifically, it's like you're a celebrity.
Been to Boston, Tampa, Alabama a few times, North Carolina.
The fact that we are able to travel together is like a whole different relationship.
I like to call us like we're like Fast and Furious, right? Like it's, we're on the road. We're not in expensive cars or muscle cars, but we're in a big giant yellow truck.
If somebody's got it and they're special and you see it, and you want to work somewhere where you can just be yourself, this the place. We make good tip money. You get to meet all types of people, and it's fun.
Marius turning inbound for the triangle shooters, trying to nurse this one all the way to the finish line. They get it into Devon Powers in the backcourt. He'll bring it ahead. He's pressured by Justin Ned. Switches hands on the dribble, trying to get around. Ned does. Got inside of him to the basket. Boy, that was just mano-a-mano, and Powers able to score. Now you don't need a rushed three. You're down by 3. Good possession here. You want one if you're 7 City. Ciante, half a minute remaining. Goes to the basket, puts it on rim. No, tipped it back up. That didn't go either. That was a good possession, though. Couple of good shots by Ciante, just didn't fall. He'll take that. That's not a bad trip. I mean, you can't base how good the trip was just sheerly and purely by end result. Ciante did the right thing. Take it to the basket. You got an eternity left in this game at 21 seconds, especially if that were to fall. I like what he did a lot better than just chucking it from 3. Deshaun Barton going to hustle into the forecourt, get bumped to the sideline, and draw a foul. Foul called on Lewis Freeman. And so Barton looks like he will step to the free throw line with a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Wow, how mammoth are these? And how good has he been? You see the particulars. 2-possession game and a 4-point shooter's lead. I think you got to give Ciante the basketball and maybe Lewis Freeman. Those are the 2 guys. Barton goes for a pair there. He's got 33. It's 87-82. It'll all happen after a timeout. We'll keep it here for this one with 19 seconds remaining in a 5-point game. As good as Ciante and Freeman have been, I think you got to use guys, and we'll just assume they'll be on the floor. Damon Hickman, DJ Harrell, maybe a Greg Gibbs, kind of as distributors. And you got to ride Freeman and Ciante tonight. They've been the big 2. They've combined for 40 of your team's 82. You got it. One of those 2 guys probably has to get this next shot to try to keep them in the game down 5. We'll see how they write it up. The vets have been quick to shoot the 3 tonight. Now, given where you're at in the game with under 20 seconds to go and down 5, that wouldn't be the worst thing on this trip. I liked the last trip with the attack the basket mode by Ciante. The shot just didn't fall. Now here comes Justin Ned, so he's on the floor here too. Ned gonna hand it off. Here is Freeman. He'll take a moving 3-point shot. It was a little rushed, it was offline. There's 10 to go. They're not fouling. Peterson's got the basketball in the backcourt. Green gets away from traffic. They give it up floor. Here's an easy bucket by Turner, and that is gonna wrap it up for a Triangle Shooters win on opening night, and what a game. A 7-point win. They hang on. They led wire to wire. But it was as tight as it gets down the stretch in what was the slimmest of margins at 1 and the Vets had a couple of possessions down one, but could just never get it done. Shooters winning on opening night, 89-82. Greg Allen saying so long from Williamsburg Christian Academy. Have a good night, everybody.